What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about this news with The Rock. And everybody knows about this story. It happened a few days ago. Initially, it was reported that The Rock made some very awesome comments about the snowflake generation and people being offended and how they're setting the culture back and setting us back as a people. And as soon as this got reported, it went everywhere. I mean, this quote took off. I saw it everywhere. I retweeted it from my personal account. I took a screenshot of it. I put it on the Geeks and Gamers Instagram account, and it got a ton of traction when I posted it. And yeah, man, it was cool because it's like The Rock. You know, finally, The Rock has come back to common sense. But yeah, so it was everywhere. I mean, this thing blew up. It was crazy. And of course, everybody that wanted The Rock to say that fully embraced it, myself included. And then, you know, The Rock had to clarify a few things. So here's what The Rock had to say.
I can't believe I have to do this again and set the record straight on something, but I'm happy to do it. Earlier today online, an interview dropped with me, apparently it was with me, where I was insulting and criticizing millennials. The interview never took place, never happened, never said any of those words. Completely untrue, 100% fabricated. I was quite baffled when I woke up this morning. You know, I've gained such a great trust and equity with all you guys all around the world over the years, and you know it's not a real DJ interview if I'm ever insulting a group, a generation, or anyone, because that's not me, and it's not who I am, and it's not what we do. So to the millennials, the interview never happened. To the plurals, the baby boomers, the snowflake generation, I don't even know where that term came from, the tequila generation, that's a generation I just started, that's a good one, you want to join it. I always encourage empathy, I encourage growth, but most importantly, I encourage everybody to be exactly who they want to be. And we're good.
So that's The Rock's response. Now, here's my issue with this whole thing, okay? And by the way, once that was released, I deleted the quote that I shared on the Geeks and Gamers Instagram account, and I shared that video on our Instagram and our Twitter, and I retweeted it. And I unretweeted my retweet of his comment that was false. Now, the reactions to this were all over the place. When The Rock said what he said, or I'm sorry, when it was reported that The Rock said what he ultimately did not say, when that was reported, you saw a ton of people on one side just completely come around The Rock. Yes, yes, exactly, yes. And then you saw the same group of people that you would always see crying and whining, the different types of far left websites just slamming The Rock, trashing The Rock, just destroying him for having these thoughts. And then when he put out the clarification, then we start seeing the flip side. And the people that were praising him were then slamming him. And the people that were slamming him were then praising him. And my whole thing here is The Rock did nothing wrong, guys. Nothing at all. Again, I wanted him to have that. I was happy when I thought that quote was attached to him. I was cheering. I was so happy. I'm like, yes, this is the perfect person to take this stand because we need more people like this. And yes, I was disappointed when he came out and said, no, that didn't happen. I was like, damn it. I was very disappointed, but I can't be mad at The Rock for confirming that he didn't say something that he never said. It's not his fault that somebody fabricated a story, ran with it, and it went viral. It's not his fault. So all he did was clarify it. So you can't be mad at The Rock because he didn't say what he didn't say. And that is my big problem with this. And now the other side, the side that always does this, the far left lunatics, the SJWs, the NPCs, the Mary Sue sites, they don't have any common sense about them. So I don't really think it's necessary to even talk to them because it's like talking to a wall. It's like talking to an NPC. But the people that I feel are on the common sense side of things, the people that are on the same side of the fence as I am, and that doesn't necessarily mean politically or not. You can disagree with me in a political stance and still have a lot of common sense. But the reaction to The Rock has been nonsense from the common sense crowd. He didn't say it. You can't get mad at him because he didn't say it. That's the biggest load of nonsense I've ever seen, and that is very SJW to respond to The Rock because he did say something that he didn't say. but he had to respond because someone fabricated his words. Maybe you wanted him to say it. I wanted him to say it, but he didn't say it, and he had to confirm it. So again, let's get a little better grasp on reality. The Rock did nothing wrong. Nothing. He didn't say what you wanted him to say ultimately, and you were disappointed when you thought he said something that you wanted him to say, but ultimately he didn't. But that's not his fault. He did nothing wrong. Take responsibility for yourself. Don't sit there and hold someone else responsible because you got your hopes up based on false information. So, The Rock is a good dude. I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of The Rock. I mean, in terms of like, yeah, he's great. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. He's never been my favorite wrestler. I think he's a great action star. I think he's a great actor. I'm not a Rock mega fan per se, but I looked at this situation and I'm like, why? Like the fact that so many people had such a emotional response to this, and then it flipped completely. And the side that was yelling at him is now praising him, and the side that was praising him is now yelling at him. This is insane. This has to be called out. And it needed to, so that's why I'm doing it. The Rock did nothing wrong. Chill out, have some perspective, and understand the bigger picture. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.